Hi guys, so today I will be presenting my field note, which is based on a specific Facebook group page that I followed, titled Little Mountain Haven. I'm going to also look at Facebook group pages in general in the context of the communication concept of imagined communities. I'm going to break down the communication event in terms of what the message is, who sent it, and who received it. I will also discuss the type of communication and the noise involved with this type of communication. I will then open up the concept I mentioned of imagined communities and relate it back to this message and end with the significance of this field note and that specific type of communication. So my field note, a couple weeks ago I was on Facebook and I noticed a post from this group that I follow, Little Mountain Haven, who describes themselves as eco-homesteading, heirloom gardening, foraging, and family adventures in the Canadian mountains of the West Kootenays, British Columbia. The post that I read by them was about Black Friday, particularly in America, which is a day when there are many large savings all across the country. It's dedicated to commercialism, basically, and celebrated the day after the American Thanksgiving and a month before Christmas. So the post by Little Mountain Haven said how bothered they were, but all of the shopping deals the day after, people are supposed to be focused on being thankful and with what they are happy with what they already have, and saying that Black Friday is basically a mockery of Thanksgiving in itself. It also mentions how people are often trampled to death or otherwise injured on Black Friday, all in the name of savings. The author of the group then continues that she is annoyed of seeing posts from other Facebook groups on her newsfeed that say green is the new black, encouraging people to support green communities, but green communities should support less consumerism, not more, which is what that is saying. The author of the post said she's sad that the world is focusing so greatly on consumerism rather than gratitude and giving gifts from the heart that really means something. So she says that she finishes the post by saying that in the next couple days she's going to share as many do-it-yourself gift ideas as possible, and so with the point of promoting less consumerism, and then she apologizes if she's offended anybody. So after reading this post, I liked the post and commented on it that I didn't think that she should be sorry and that I liked her idea. The owner of the page then liked my comment and posted to it a reply that said thank you with a little emoticon smiley face. So the post had several sender audience events. The first one was from myself to the owner of the page, as well as anyone on the social network who may view it, particularly my friends, family, and any other members of that group. The message I sent was the original like. By liking something on Facebook, you're then giving your approval for the message they're sending in most cases. And then through the like of the post, I sent the message that I agree with the opinions stated in the post. The secondary message was also sent from myself to the owner of the Facebook group when I typed the message that I enjoyed her idea and she shouldn't apologize for it. This also had a secondary audience of any one of my friends who may have seen that and anyone else who follows the group. And the third message sent was when the owner liked my comment, therefore sending the message that she approves of the message that I'm sending. I would be the audience for this message, and it would also have a secondary audience, the same as before. Anyone on Facebook who's probably my friends or family who might see that, or anyone else in that group. Lastly, the fourth message would be when the owner commented a reply to my comment saying thank you with a smiley face, so that would be directed to myself as the audience, but has the same secondary audiences as the previous messages. So all of these communication events were sent non-verbally by written visual communication. They also all had the same background noise for the most part, which was also nonverbal. The background noise was on Facebook, when on Facebook would be all of the other stimuli and posts written above and below the page, as well as any other browser tabs you may have had open at the time. Facebook also has many ads on the sides that could have been seen as noise and distracting. Also, if you had any music playing in the background, that didn't apply to myself as a noise as an audience, but it could have applied to the owner of the group page. Also, she says on the page that she has young children, so they could have been providing auditory or visual noise for herself. Yeah, so now I would like to open up this concept, this communication event with the concept of imagined communities. Imagined communities is a term coined by Benedict Anderson in his book titled Imagined Communities in 1983. The term describes a community that differs from an actual community in that there isn't and cannot be everyday face-to-face interaction between the community members. The example that Anderson uses in his book is a nation, which is a socially constructed community imagined by people who perceive themselves as part of that group. It can now be used more broadly to refer to other communities, such as community based on the awareness of global risk factors. In Anderson's book, he gives an example of imagined communities, such as the Olympic Games. So members of a nation are participating in a larger event, and a community is imagined because it's highly unlikely that members of the nation will ever meet or know the nations representing Olympic members, yet in their minds they still imagine community with them. So lastly, Anderson says that imagined community is a result of print capitalism. So we live in a time where print is widely distributed in a language that most aren't able to understand or easily translate. So that makes the message more accessible to larger audiences. So that concept directly relates to this field note and that Facebook post, because by me joining the group, I now imagine myself as a member of that larger community of people who are supporting this green movement. I'll likely never meet or verbally speak with any of them, and they'll have an interest in the message delivered by the group, which is, like I said, the green or eco living. By sharing, commenting, and liking each other's messages, we are communicating, feeling closer together, yet the community is still simply imagined. Just as Anderson stated, this imagined community is also only possible because of print technology, which is now the internet compared to in 1983 when it would have been newspapers and books. So that with that it can reach a very large audience, and there's also online translators. So anyone, other languages can translate and read what's going on and be part of that group. And just by me commenting on it, on the post, my friends and family, like I said earlier, can also see the post and decide whether or not they want to become part of this group and thus part of the imagined community. So that's my field note. In closing, my field note had 4 sender audience events. They're all nonverbal. It had noise, which may have been visual or auditory, depending on the audience member, and it applies to a larger concept of imagined communities, as coined by Benedict Anderson, in that the members of the group lack face-to-face interaction, yet share a common interest which they support through comments, likes, messages, or sharing, which allows them to imagine themselves as part of something larger, such as the green movement. This concept can be further applied to all Facebook groups in general, really, and Facebook, the site in general, because joining it alone allows you to feel like you're part of a group. Like you may have like 300 friends on your friends list, and they could be people from like elementary school who you don't talk to anymore, or so on and so forth, and you lack face-to-face interaction with them every day, but you still share the common interests of friendship and social networking. So yeah, that's my field note. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.